.org. Welcome back, everybody. 15 after the hour. Time for us to go behind the headlines, and I'm taking a look at even the red states now want to legalize marijuana. I mean, we were all thrilled when the latest Gallup poll confirmed what 8 other polls have told us since 2009, and that is a majority in America wants to legalize marijuana by taxing and regulating it in a manner similar to alcohol. But our friends out in the red states, you know, the highly conservative states that usually vote Republican and usually hate on weed, they always take these polls with a grain of salt. They'll say, oh, yeah, sure, it may be 58% support for legalization nationwide, but folks down here just aren't ready for it. And then this leads some activists to abandon hope for marijuana legalization and then cast their sights on goals less threatening to the prohibitionist status quo, like decrim or medical marijuana exceptions. But the latest slate of polls shows that even in states where you're likely to find a Piggly Wiggly or a rabid anti-drug congressperson, there is still majority support, not just for medical marijuana, but taxed and regulated marijuana even for healthy people. We'll start in the state of Indiana. The latest 2013 Hoosiers survey conducted by Ball State University found that 52% of Indiana residents supported, quote, making marijuana a regulated substance like alcohol and tobacco, end quote. Democrats, of course, supported it at just about a supermajority, 64%, but even a plurality of Republicans, 49%, more supported legalization than opposed it. And astoundingly, when the question was modified to ask about taxing marijuana like cigarettes, support jumped to 78% among all respondents, regardless of party, with near equal support. So will this mark a shift from treat it like alcohol to treat it like cigarettes? Let's take a look at the state of Missouri. When given a quick description of Show Me Cannabis's plan to legalize marijuana in Missouri, the firm of DHM Research found that a plurality of 50% of voters were strongly in favor or leaning towards marijuana legalization. But then when they explained the details of the plan at length, support went up 4 points to 54% support, 44% opposed. Down in Kinky Friedman's state of Texas, the Lone Star State, they surprised everyone when MPP's latest poll showed that 58% of Texans are in favor of, quote, making marijuana legal for adults and treating it like alcohol, end quote. Even more surprising was that legalization found the exact same level of support as medical marijuana at 58%, and decrim did only marginally better at 61%. Could Texas be the first state to bypass medical marijuana entirely and move straight to legalization? How about next door in Louisiana? Support for medical marijuana in the Bayou State is still much greater than support for legalization, with almost 2 out of 3, or 65%, supporting special exceptions to criminal prosecution for medicinal use of cannabis. However, a majority, 53% of Louisiana voters, support taxing and regulating marijuana for healthy adults, with just 37% in opposition. And in Florida, St. Pete polls conducted an August survey that found huge support for medical marijuana, with almost 74% of Floridians supporting a constitutional amendment to institute protections for the sick and dying who use cannabis. However, a whopping 59% of Floridians support the idea that, quote, marijuana should be taxed and regulated like alcohol and be made legal for any adult to use, end quote, with just 35% in opposition. The problem, of course, is translating this political support into political change. The voters in Texas, Louisiana, and Indiana can want legalization in one hand and shit in the other, and without the power of ballot initiatives, they're forced to wait for the politicians who are not likely to want to legalize marijuana anytime soon. The voters in Florida do have an option. They can try to pass a constitutional amendment, but that requires 60% of the vote, so the activists down there are focusing on medical marijuana. Only in Missouri do they have the shot at passing legalization by signature drive ballot initiative, But in those kind of states, the political establishment, and this is happening in Arkansas as well, the attorney general continually rejects their petition titles and their petition summaries on the flimsiest of technicalities or interpretations to force them to go back over and over again through that process to try to delay and obstruct legalization. But folks, there is majority support all across this country for full marijuana legalization. We just have to learn how to marshal it. All right, folks, got to take a break. When we come back, we'll have our Irie Wednesday Daily Toker tune. We got a Marley for the day, Kimani Marley, with Brave Ones, coming up after the break.
Oh, have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said